Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. So I have been getting so many questions about this topic today, and it's a new year, it's 2020. I felt like other people might appreciate it. So today I'm talking all about how to set a morning routine that's going to set you up for success. So what I'm sharing with you is my healthy morning routine. And let me just tell you, this was not easy to incorporate. I have to say that because although I'm going to give you tips and recommendations as to, I've done a lot of research on this too, and I've heard and studied other successful individuals and what they did. So I got a lot of my morning ritual tactics from that. But I have to say, it took me forever to get started with this. I remember listening to people like Marie Forleo or other individuals in the field, and they would just talk about it, whether on a video or a podcast, and say they would wake up and work out and drink their morning green smoothie and like do all these things. And I'm like, but how? But how do you just not sleep through your alarm and just wake up in just enough time to make it to work? I just did not understand. But so just understand this is a process, just like anything else, any other habit that you try to incorporate, like a morning routine. It is a process that it gets easier over time. So you just have to be patient with yourself. You want to start with baby steps, one thing at a time. And then once you get that down, you can build from there. But that's really all that it's about. I remember thinking, how the heck do people work out in the morning? How? I don't understand. And now I can't even imagine not working out in the morning. So it takes time. So probably on average, it took me a solid 2-3 years, honestly, to have the morning routine that I have now. And so just know that. I just wanted to preface with that. So although I'm going to share with you my ideal morning, this is not what every single morning looks like. Some mornings are excellent, some are not. But I've learned to stop judging myself so much. As you're building these habits and trying to create these healthy habits, you want to be firm with yourself at first. But once it becomes a habit, I give myself a little bit of a break, and not every morning is this perfect, but there's different philosophies and different mindsets that go into it. If you want to be really firm with yourself, and if you do better on a routine, then sticking to the same thing every single day is going to be for you. But I found that giving myself some flexibility and room in the morning to stick to every single day routine or not, makes me feel a little bit better. So I'm going to share with you an ideal morning, but just know this is not an every single day thing for me. And so I also say that because it's important to tap into yourself and your feelings and your emotions and, kind of reflect and give yourself some room and flexibility there. So, maybe you didn't get to bed till late the night before, or you just couldn't fall asleep, or you're not feeling good, or you're recovering from a really hard workout, or you just feel mentally exhausted. Give yourself that time. And that's what I've learned over over the years, that, hey, if I don't want to wake up at 5:30 and go to the gym, or wake up and do X, Y, and Z, then it's okay. I'm just going to sleep, because sleeping is a form of self-care too. That doesn't mean that I'm intentionally going to bed late or just one more show. No, I probably won't be as flexible with myself in that occasion. So it just takes time and practice, and you can do with this whatever you like. But I'm going to share with you a few things that I do every single day to really help set me up for success. All right, so the first thing you want to do is set yourself up for success the night before. And what this does is it allows your mind to start working on what you want to do and accomplish the next day. So for example, maybe you want to go to the gym, and the night before, you want to plan out, okay, I'm going to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to do this workout. I'm going to wear this, and you just set yourself up for success the night before, so that as you sleep, you kind of know, you're what you're setting yourself up for in the morning. So, and it can also help to set your clothes out the night before, set out your sneakers, get your playlist ready, have a bottle of water, just preparing yourself for that that time in the morning. So set yourself up for success the night before. And this also can apply to your daily schedule, your daily routine. Maybe you are someone that has flexibility with work, or you work for yourself, or you can create your schedule at work, or you just want to plan out your day in general. After work, I'm going to go pick up my kids, and we're going to go to the soccer practice, and we're going to have this for dinner. So just laying the intention out ahead of time can help your brain, and it helps just rewire the schedule so you can see it ahead of time and it's easier to accomplish, instead of just always being reactive and taking care of something like as it comes, like waking up and thinking, do I go to the gym or not? What am I going to wear? What is my day going to look like? What am I even doing today? What should we have for dinner? Because that can exhaust you. There's a real thing called decision fatigue, and it comes from making those even little tiny decisions over and over again, and it's exhausting. So set yourself up for success the night before, and lay the intention out for your day from the very beginning to the very end. Even like what time you plan on going to bed that night. It can be really helpful. And this doesn't have to be a long, elaborate journal entry. It can be like a little scrap of paper and jotting down your intention. And I also want to point out that, let's say you set the intention to do something day after day or week after week, and you're just not doing it. You're setting this intention and you're just not following through. I want you to check in with that. I want you to check in with that intention and what's going on, because your intention could just be, whenever I say set these goals, like make sure that they're realistic. Is your goal to work out 7 days a week? I mean, is that really realistic for you? How many days are you working out now? Take a look at your situation, and maybe you can make a more realistic goal. I'm not saying, working out 7 days a week is not helpful. It can definitely be beneficial to work out 7 days of the week, but you want to take small actions to reach the bigger long-term goal, instead of trying to do everything all at once. So let's say that goal is to start exercising, and day in and day out, and you're setting the same goal over and over again, because 7 days a week can just be overwhelming. So maybe you can adjust that goal, make it 1 day a week, and go from there. Or maybe you are setting a realistic goal and you're just not following through with your intention. You want to check in with yourself there also and see what is going on. Is it just really cold outside and you don't want to get in the car and warm up your car, and it wastes too much time, and this whole thing getting to the gym in the morning? Just look at the situation and see what you can do instead. And maybe it is cold outside and you're just finding it difficult to get dressed and warm up the car, and it's taking forever, and it's just like not even worth it by the time you get there. Maybe you can do a workout at home. What is something that you can do to accommodate that goal? So that's something I want to say, because I like I said, when I first started this podcast, I mentioned that it was difficult for me to even fathom the idea of maybe working out in the morning or doing something in the morning. But over time, I really had to create realistic goals so that I can start achieving them, thus creating that mindset around, okay, I can actually do this. I can actually go to the gym in the morning 1 day a week. Going 5-7 days of the week? I don't think so. And then once you do that 1 day a week, you feel really accomplished. And then maybe you want to do 2 days a week or 3 days a week. And maybe, who knows, maybe you might hit your goal because you're creating that momentum of going to the gym 5 to 7 days a week. But just make sure everything is really realistic and doable, especially, depending on where you're starting, okay? So the first thing is you want to set yourself up for success the night before. The second thing is you want to set an alarm to wake up early. Now, their studies show that waking up early, it can affect the success in your day. So waking up early, it could be 5 minutes earlier than usual. It can be an hour before you normally get up. But I just recommend, especially when you're just starting, to just find some time that you can have to yourself. So just wake up before you are instantly being reactive and starting to do things. So maybe you're normal routine is to wake up when the baby's crying, or when your dog wakes you up, or when you're interrupted by someone getting ready for their workday around you. I recommend setting that alarm for some time before all of that happens, so that you can wake up in a non-reactive space. So it's not like, oh, what's wrong? Like, who's calling me? Like, what's that noise? Why, what's wrong? It can be, okay, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to remind myself that this was my intention and goal from the night before, and I'm going to move from there. Now, you're probably not going to wake up and be super energetic. It's going to, you might be groggy or whatever, but that just takes some time to shake off and get used to. But I just recommend setting your alarm in the morning to start sometime before you normally wake up and have to react. And when you're setting this alarm, I encourage you to change your ringtone to a new sound, to maybe a softer tone, maybe a song that you enjoy, anything. I mean, phones these days, you can do anything with it. There's even alarm clocks that have light to them, so you can wake up, and it's a more natural way to wake up because the light simulates the sunshine. So that's one thing, but there's so many different things that you can do to wake up now that you don't have to just wake up to because again, that puts you in that reactive state where you're like, what's wrong? So change your alarm clock tone to something else. And also what this does is it reminds you, it's just such a subtle change, but it reminds you oh, this alarm is different. Oh, this morning is different. And it's going to remind you to, okay, well, we're waking up a little bit earlier today, and this day is going to be a little bit different and a little bit better. And once you get used to that ringtone, you want to change it again. I'm actually in the phase right now where I'm getting a little too comfortable with my current ringtone, so I'm going to change it up so that when I wake up in the morning, I can be reminded, oh yes, I'm remembering, I set this intention for this morning. Okay, so after you set your alarm, and you may be really tired, I want to say. You may be really tired when this alarm clock goes off because you're not used to waking up this early, or you're used to, pressing snooze a million times. First I want to say is I want you to think about what your ideal version of yourself would do in this situation. Hopefully if you're listening to this podcast, you're looking to really improve your health, improve your wellness, improve yourself, improve how you show up in this world. So what I want you to do is imagine yourself as the highest version of yourself, the best version of yourself. What does the best version of you look like? What does she wear? What sort of things does she eat? Does she press snooze on her alarm clock a million times? So really think of those things. And, so ideally, does your ideal version of yourself wake up after that first alarm buzz? And we really want to start embodying this person. So we want to act as if we are that person. So set the alarm. And if you're feeling a little bit tired after you set that alarm, just rip off that Band-Aid and start waking up when that alarm goes off. And as the days and weeks go on, you're going to start getting tired earlier, thus wanting to wake up earlier. So it's going to start to shift that. Maybe you're a night owl and you just stay up. You want to watch TV, or you finish work late, or you're up with the kids, or whatever it is. You want to just wake up when the alarm goes off so that you get tired earlier, so that you want to go to bed a little bit earlier. And I know even for myself, I just want to stay up late. I enjoy winding down and watching TV at night, and I just want to stay up. But if you want to wake up with energy and you want to get proper sleep and you want to, be an early morning person, or maybe you don't want to, but you're working on becoming a more early morning person so that you can fit these things in the morning, then it's just kind of what it is. Maybe you can set an alarm at night to remind yourself to get in your PJs, wash your face, then go sit down on the couch and watch TV so that when you are ready for bed, you can just plop right into bed or something like that. Make it easy for yourself. All right, so after we're setting ourselves up for success the night before, we set our alarm to wake up early. We're winding down at night early. We're acting as if we're our best selves. The next thing you want to do is focus on your mindset. So in the morning, I encourage you to focus on your mindset. Your mindset is everything. Your mindset is really what determines your day. There's on average 60,000 thoughts going through our head in any given moment throughout the day. So you want to manage those thoughts. And the majority of the thoughts that we think the day before are the thoughts that we're thinking again the next day, thus creating the same reality day after day, week after week. This is why, we make a similar amount year after year. We live in the similar life year after year. We almost feel like we're in Groundhog Day, that movie. We're just doing the same thing day in and day out, having the same relationships, keep staying the same weight. And so if you want to start to change that, you have to shift your mindset. And shifting your mindset can be as simple as shifting one thought at a time. So what I encourage you to do is, as you're waking up in the morning, catch yourself with that first thought that you think. That very first moment you wake up, what is going through your head? Think about it. I'm going to challenge you, and I want you to tag me in a post in our Facebook group, Healthy Weight Loss Tips for Busy Women, and tag me in that first thought of your day. And if you catch yourself and you swap it, because this is so powerful. This is so powerful, guys. I would think of the craziest things in the morning. I would be worried. I would think about money. I would think about what I ate the night before. I would think my failures from the day before, what someone said about me, all of this nonsense, a fight that I had. And this is what we do. We think about something and then we relive it the next day. So maybe we did have an argument with someone the day before. We can choose to let it go. We can choose to not focus on it. We can choose to shift it. We can choose to not dwell, or we can choose to think about it and reactivate that again. This could be anything. The thoughts of not having enough money, the thoughts of not feeling good enough, the thoughts that, we struggle with our weight, whatever it is. And so you want to catch that thought and replace it with something else. Or just catch it and be aware of it and say, oh no, thought. I'm becoming aware. So we're not judging ourselves. We're just becoming aware of it. And maybe we can focus on something. If going positive feels a little bit awkward, then maybe you can just go neutral with your thoughts. So maybe if saying, I feel like a fat slob today is your normal first thought, to I feel amazing and I'm super sexy is kind of out there. Maybe you could just go neutral and say, I feel comfortable in my skin today. I am growing and evolving every single day. Can be a neutral thought where we're just not going off the deep end first thing in the morning. So catch that first thought. Let me know. I want to hear how this shifts your day, because it has shifted my mornings dramatically. And everyone that I've spoken to about this, it has helped them as well. So tag me in that post. I want to hear from you. Or send me a DM on Instagram at ohhowhealthy. All right. So after we set our mindset, you can choose to do some meditation. You can choose to do, just some journaling, or just letting out the gook. When I feel like I journal in the morning, it just lets out the gook from the night before, from the day before, anything that we carry around with us. That same stuff that we're thinking as soon as we wake up is that gook that I'm talking about. So just let that go. Write it down in a notebook, rip it up, tear it up if you want, so no one ever sees it again, or just keep it so you can reflect back on it. Or you can choose to do a meditation. You can use an app. There's plenty of apps. You can send me a message. I can send you some of my favorite apps. Or you can just sit in silence. You can sit and listen to music. You can sit and listen to something uplifting. And this helps just clear your mind. And, we're not waking up in that reactive state. And now we're creating the state that we want to live in for that day, right? So instead of like, oh my God, like what's wrong, or what do you need, or what's going on, I'm late. We're now creating a more positive space, and we're able to choose our thoughts from this point on. So that's what meditation can help. And if you're new to meditation, or if you've never done it before, it doesn't have to be complicated or anything overwhelming, and you don't have to sit cross-legged and with your palms up and chanting mantras. You can do that if you want, but I just encourage you to sit, and maybe after you wake up, you catch those morning thoughts. You maybe just sit there or lay there and focus on any sound that you hear. Maybe it's the sound of the fan, or maybe it's the sound of cars passing, or anything, and just focus and just clear your mind a bit. Just clear your mind. You can visualize thoughts, popping them. With a pin, sometimes I visualize my thoughts as balloons, flying by, or clouds or something, and I'm just sitting there, just letting them pass. And I'm a visual person, so that's why things like that help me. But you don't have to download a $30 meditation app or buy all these fancy things. Meditation is essentially just clearing your mind. That's the goal behind it, and setting the intention, and just creating a more positive atmosphere in your head. So that's one of the first things that I do. The next thing that I encourage you to do is move your body in some way. You want to get the blood flowing. You want to wake up. You want to, you want to maybe sweat a little bit so that you can release some toxins, and whatever works for you is going to work for you. Maybe it's just getting on the floor by your bed and doing some stretches. Or maybe it's doing a workout in your basement, or maybe it's going to the gym, or maybe it's taking your animal out for a walk, or maybe it's anything. I mean, it can literally be anything. I just encourage you to get your body moving. It can be doing squats in the shower, anything. So, and this whole process here can be a very quick process. So far we just set we set the intention the night before. We set our alarm. We caught our first thought. We are clearing our mind. We're setting the intention for the day. We're doing a little bit of mindset work, and now we're moving our body. And it can be as simple as 5-minute stretches by your bed. And once you start there, you are creating the space to just grow from there. I mean, this can be a 10-minute process. It does not have to be complicated. Do not overcomplicate this, okay? So move your body in some way. Make sure you're drinking water. Your body dehydrates overnight. The first thing you want to put in your mouth is not coffee, because coffee, it can dehydrate you further. And even if you are a coffee lover, I love coffee, I recommend you drinking some water before you have that coffee, and that's going to help the caffeine in the coffee work better. It just is going to replenish your system. So keep some water by your bed, give it a chug, do some morning stretches, and you are set. After that, I encourage you to have something nutritious. Again, maybe you had to set your alarm a whole half an hour early so that you can make time to do these morning things. Make sure you have a breakfast. I am a big believer in meal prepping. If you need support with meal prepping, check out Oh How Healthy Insiders, where we do our live meal prep party together, and you get it all done on Sunday in 1 hour. All the documents are handed over to you. But I'm a big believer in meal prepping, so that in the morning you can just wake up, you can grab your smoothie bag, plop it in the blender, you can grab your overnight oats, whatever it is, and you are done. You don't have to be in the kitchen whipping up some fancy omelet. That's not going to help you. That's just going to waste time. And if you have the time, obviously go ahead, but you don't have to do that. I'm all about simplifying healthy eating, making it something really simple, affordable, fast, and delicious, and nutritious. So have something nutritious, get it into your body, and do anything that's going to remove any guilt that you're going to feel throughout the day. So what I mean by this is, maybe you are someone who feels guilty if you don't give your child some time in the morning, or maybe you feel guilty throughout the day if you didn't take your dog out for a walk, or maybe you just love to call your mom in the morning, or whatever it is. Make sure that you fit in time to do that, so that you're not feeling all day like, oh, I should have taken my dog out for a walk. Now they're just home and just being lazy and, or I didn't give my child any attention or I missed that phone call. Fit in that time. And it can be, again, like a 5-minute thing or a 10-minute thing or a quick phone call or a call while you're driving and going somewhere. Just get that out of the way. And finally, I encourage you to make yourself feel like your best self. The same thing, similarly, when I talked about what would your ideal self do when they hear the alarm clock go off? What does your ideal self do in the morning? What does she or he get dressed in the morning? How do they show up for when they go throughout their day? Are they showering in the morning? What are they wearing? Do they do their makeup? Do they go a more natural look? What are they wearing? So make sure if that is a thing for you and you feel your best self when you know you have you showered, you did your hair, you did your makeup, you just feel great when you look your best, then make sure that you fit in time for that as well. So that in a nutshell, guys, is my morning routine. I do not do it perfectly every single day, although it is my intention to do that every single day. But again, I am still a work in progress, but all that I know is that I try to strive to be better every single day. And I would hope the same for you. Make sure that you're kind to yourself. You give yourself room for flexibility. You give yourself room to just grow and evolve. And maybe this process for 2020 looks like just starting off with one of these things. Maybe you just want to start having that green juice in the morning. Or maybe you just want to start by moving your body and doing those stretches by your bed or drinking water in the morning or setting that alarm or setting that intention the night before. Whatever that is for you, make sure that that's what you start with and then you grow from there. So that is it from me, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I want to hear from you what you think of this. I want to hear what your morning mindset swap is, because that is probably the most transformational that I hear from individuals. So go on over to the Facebook group, Healthy Weight Loss Tips for Busy Women. Let me know what your thoughts are, what your biggest takeaway was from this. Find me on Instagram, send me a DM at ohhowhealthy, and I will catch you in the next episode. This podcast was brought to you by Oh How Healthy Insiders. Oh How Healthy Insiders is my membership site that simplifies healthy eating for busy families. If you're a busy mama on the go and you need some support, getting creative in the kitchen, getting healthy meals on the table, something that your family will enjoy, check out Oh How Healthy Insiders for done-for-you materials, done-for-you whole food-inspired meal plans, affordable grocery list that will not cost you more than $100, super simple recipes, and so much more. If you're interested, go check out www.ohhowhealthy.com/insiders and sign up there.